The translations aren't.
The translation portion.
But the characters are.
I thought you said the characters weren't.
No. I must have misunderstood you. The characters appear in the Egyptian alphabet and grammar.
Okay.
They were given translations that appear in the Book of Abraham.
Okay, so those translations appear in the Book of
But the same characters in the Phelps document had a different translation to them. They meant something entirely different.
In the Adamic document.
Right.
That's the one you're talking about.
That's why Schryver is saying possibly
which
it's
clues into
a
something that we're associating characters with a certain text, not for purposes of translation, but as you say, as kind of a cipher. So that to me was the key is the characters, because you can kind of basically argue to some degree about the common text and the
intertextuality in which ways they
right and stuff like that. You can argue it kind of goes back and forth, but to me the key is the characters. If the characters are not Egyptian, this is not a translation key.
So what you're saying is, if the key, just so I understand you, so what you're saying is, in other words, they couldn't have taken that. In other words, it's not as if they're taking those characters, putting them down on paper, and taking them from an Egyptian document that they're trying to translate, because they're
not Egyptian. Yeah, they didn't come from the manuscripts. They're not on the paper.
Consider it this way. Imagine you're trying to translate a language where symbols can be comprised of any number of smaller graphemes. And what you have to work with is a document with the composite symbols, not the basic graphemes, right? In order to be able to translate that document, you need a lexicon of the basic graphemes, not the finished symbols as they are composited on the papyrus, but the more basic graphemes of which all of those symbols are composed.
So you're saying the basic graphemes, like a small little hook means this, and once we put it all together, so the small little hook may not be Egyptian, but it's a section of what was used as part of that Egyptian character.
Or at the very least, something that Joseph Smith anticipated might be a part of some Egyptian characters.
And that stands as a possibility until you figure out these characters, some of them, existed prior to the papyri. These were things that were out there before Chandler ever even showed up in Brooklyn.
But why is that a problem?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
Why isn't that a problem?
Because they could very well look at that and say, look, that's examples of, this is inspired language that existed at an earlier stage that they're copying and that happens to appear in Egyptian.
What do you call those little parts?
Basic graphemes.
Yeah, the graphemes. How is Joseph Smith or Phelps know about these graphemes prior to the papyri even coming? What's even triggering their minds that that's even what they are?
Because one with the graphemes, if it is an Adamic language, or if they think Egyptian has a tie to the ancients, I think, me personally, I see masonry flying. I think masonry is flying for all of this. If they think there's this ancientness already in the Phelps, then they get that and they go, well, obviously this is ancient, Phelps is ancient. Here's this here, that's ancient. Oh, look, this Egyptian symbol has this little Adamic thing in there.
Was there a tie to the Masonics and the Egyptian? I mean, was there any kind of connection?
But it wouldn't really matter.
I'm looking into that.
It's fundamental to Joseph's mindset to take things from that perspective. That everything, Masonry has its whole, back down to, it traces back down to Adamic principles and practices. Right. It's a restoration of all. So every single thing that he sees evidence, and as do his followers, evidence of things that really trace back to a pure language, to something from its origin. So he sees the link. It really wouldn't matter, Wade. I don't think.
Well, unless the pure language is not equal to Egyptian.
Unless it's not a what?
Not equal to Egyptian. I mean, they may have thought that way, but if it doesn't go back, and that's what I'm saying, if these are Egyptian characters, then you can translate an Egyptian language. If they aren't, you can't. I don't see how you can use non-Egyptian characters to translate an Egyptian document. It just doesn't make sense. But we can think these through things a little bit more, and then
I promise this will be out on the message boards.
I don't know what to name those little parts, grammings and stuff like that. But and maybe it's possible that those were Grammys that were known beforehand. It just kind of pushes the limits.
And they would see that as authenticity for Phelps's work and the things that he was doing, because it all ties into this, ancient truth.
They had ancients on the brain, so to speak.
Definitely. Anyway,
Well, it'll be interesting.
yeah, that's
Good discussion.
I just kind of want to understand where everybody's coming from.
I hope you guys understand I am posting this on my YouTube site, just so you know.
I have no opinion. I just want to understand people's.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have someone
You have an
informed.
opinion.
I haven't authorized this. No, just kidding. No,
I don't care. Well, I do.
Well, I looked for it yesterday. Yesterday, did you post anything from yesterday's?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance. I've interviewed McAvoy here and Daniel McClellan, the other real good biblical Hebrew scholar, and I'll have
Yeah,
them.
because I was going through withdrawals.
I apologize. I'll repent speedily this weekend and post absolutely everything except Will Schryver's presentation. Scott
But
threatened
he's
me.
going to have a link to that. So
Yeah, but I've got it on a good angle. I'm gonna share it with Mike and we'll paste and cut. Cool. You guys rock as usual.
We need the video from here as well as when he's posting, because you got to have his face, in there periodically too. So
We
I
do.
can see that
I was hoping
long-haired guy.
I was just hoping to have. Oh, I've got Poofy wore a pigtail too. I got the side shot. Good discussion, you
does
guys.
everybody know that Chris has got a paper coming out in dialogue?
It's already out.
Yeah, it's out.
Well, I know. Yeah, Andrew put it up.
He's becoming a publishing
Congratulations
machine.
for that.
You're putting us to shame, dang it. You're really ticking me. I got you beat on videos though.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
You have
For the
everyone
moment.
beat on video.
Oh.
Keep up with you.
I'm a blabbermouth. What can I say? I don't apologize either.
Some of
Yeah,
those were.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
And
that's
so,
pretty good.
if that's
This is
the
Wade
case,
England
then-
talking to Don Bradley.
Then this is not a translation key. It can't be.
Right.
Because you're not going to be translating from here and stuff, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's going to put up the link. To me, I watched it one time through, and I had kind of the same sentiments. And then I watched it another time, and it started to sink in. Each time I watched it, it sunk in a little bit more and more and more. And it was pretty profound afterwards.
Some of it, it just goes too fast.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
did.
hard. I can't really digest it. So.
And that's why I'm glad he's posting the links online and stuff like that, so people can go back and go, okay, I'm going to.
This is two of my good friends. I just lied to him and told him I wouldn't video him, so I'm turning them on. This is Don Bradley and my good friend Brian Hauglid. I gotta go. This Brian's hiding behind Don. See how dark they get? They want me to video them this way, and you can't even see them. I mean, even the shadow looks alike, except for the hairdo. But on this side, you can see them. All right. Anyway, will you two hurry up and get your gabbing done so I can interview you?